What do you do when things don't work out the way that you were hoping and wishing, and especially when you put lots of energy into something and you were counting on it? You know that feeling that where you thought, man, this was going to be the thing to make the difference. This was going to be the thing to turn things around. And it just didn't turn out that way. And sometimes it can almost feel like that the world is conspiring against you. What do you do during those times? Well, I know so many people I talk to, especially before I get my hands on them and get to work with them, that they start seeing those things as signs from the universe that they're not supposed to be doing whatever it is that they want to be doing. That if this was something that they were really supposed to be doing, start the business, have the relationship, generate the money, go for the job, whatever it is, then it would be easy. And maybe this is the universe's way of saying that, this isn't just, it's just not for me. I'll get it out. That this isn't for me. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. And they back away. And that disappointment just crawls underground. It just goes underneath everything. And it doesn't go away. It just blends into the background. But man, it colors everything about your life. Where now you're functioning with your dimmer switch just turned down a little bit. I mean, drop some thumbs up or hearts or comments in the comment section if you can relate to what I'm talking about. People go to such lengths to avoid disappointment. In fact, people will not live their dream. They'll not, go for the job or build the business or expand because people are so afraid of disappointment. Well, here's the thing I want you to know. First of all, disappointment does not have to be a deal breaker. That there is life after disappointment. That disappointment is actually part of the process. Not disappointment necessarily, but things are not going to work out exactly the way that you want them to all the time. And I know conceptually you understand this. As mature adults, we get it. But when it comes down to practice, it's like it just goes out the window. That logic and that understanding just seems to go out the window. So what do you do? What do you do when you're faced with disappointment? And maybe not just once or twice, but that on several occasions, or it just nothing just seems to be happening, that it just seems to be, stalled and at a standstill. Well, first of all, so let me give you some tips on what to do to manage disappointment. Because it's part of the package, folks. You are not going to avoid disappointment. Everything, if you're really serious about your dream, I'm waving to my neighbors, it's not going to be smooth sailing all the time. It's just, that is such a fallacy that if this were really supposed to be, then everything would fall right into place. Well, here's a couple of things I want you to understand. First of all, your dream is bigger than anything you've ever known for yourself before. So that, by the very nature of that, it means that there are going to be things that you don't know how to do. Now, it doesn't mean that this will stop you, but the fact that you don't know how to do them means that there's a learning curve, that there are things that you're going to have to learn. There are things that you're going to have to try on. There are things that you're going to have to experiment with. I've got a client who wanted her beloved, that she broke up, got out of a relationship that was not working, and just, felt frustrated because she wasn't, finding somebody that she really wanted to be with. But number one, she had to heal. Number two, she had to grow. And number three, she had to get clear about who was it that she really wanted to hang out with for the rest of her life. That takes time and it takes experimentation. So realize that your dream is bigger than anything you've ever known before, which means there's going to be a internal learning process, and there's internal growth process, and there's a learning curve. That there are going to be things that you will need to learn in order to implement whatever it is that you want to implement. Number 2, when something's not working out the way that you want it to, and it seems like it's taken a long time, I want you to remember that there's a gestation period. You know, we have no idea how long it takes things to really come to fruition. More importantly, we have no idea how long it takes for you to come to fruition. It goes back to number 1, that your dream is bigger than anything you've ever done for yourself before. That when you're in this learning curve and in this growth process, you are effectively coming into a place where you are becoming a match for your dream. My dog's pulling. You have to be the person who can have that dream. You have to be the person who identifies with that dream. You have to be the person who is a match for that dream. That takes time. You know, I know when I first got married, you know, we've been together now, gosh, I lose track, 35, 36 years. It's been a long time. But I didn't know how to be in a coupleship when we first got together. I had to learn. I had to be awkward and make mistakes. And it took us a little bit. We both come from remarkably dysfunctional backgrounds. So it took us a bit to find our rhythm and to come together as a couple. And there were many a time that I was disappointed that things weren't getting easier, quicker, wondering if this was really what it was I was supposed to be doing. But the thing that kept me in it was that I kept growing. I kept becoming a better version of myself. He kept becoming a better version of himself. And there was a joy to it. Not an ease, but there was a joy. So realize that there's a gestation period. We have no idea how long something's going to take. Then the third thing is really celebrate, and you'll hear me say this often, celebrate the win and the disappointment. You know, have the 10 minutes of having a pity party and having, you know, letting yourself feel the human emotion of disappointment. But then fall back in love with your dream. Go back to your dream. Remind yourself why this dream is important. You know, you want to build that burning desire, and then you want to find the things to celebrate all along the way. That you want to really stay focused on what is working. We can get so fixated on what's not working that you think that none of it's working, when in reality, there is a lot that's working, maybe not exactly the way that you want it to, or as fast as you want it to, or as big as and scaled as you want it to, but there are things that are working. And the more you're able to put your focus on what is working, the more you're able to grow that, you feel so much better, and you keep your momentum going. All right, so share in the comment section what's really standing out for you as you listen to this, and then join me for my masterclass where we dig deeper into this whole process of how to stay present for your dream when things aren't moving as quickly as you want them. July 25th, 11 to 12:30, 10:30 to noon Pacific time. I'll put the link in the comments so you can sign up and join me. All right, know how much I deeply love and appreciate you. You are a rock star. Mwah! Have a great evening.